I'm actually really curious to see how I guess Mio handles all of this stuff. Like if it ever comes into her mind almost that I guess she's probably the reason as to why all this stuff is happening and Kudo's having to go out of his way and kind of protect her and he's putting himself in danger at the end of the day doing this. Like we already know she doesn't, she's gonna apologize and constantly blame herself for things just because that's her nature in a way. But I wonder if she'll ever like get to the point where maybe she just doesn't accept that that's the case and more so she starts like viewing everybody else as bad for the things that they're doing, which I don't think is as likely because she's literally just a kind-hearted person. I mean, even the people who've done her wrong so long throughout her life, right, she still has something towards them. She still cares at the end of the day and doesn't want them to be punished or lose their lives or something along that, like Kaya or the stepmom or whatever the case is. But I am interested to see like if we get a shift in mindset almost through reassurance of Kudo and the others that are now around her, and that she can kind of build her trust within that there literally just are evil people out there in the world who are out to get you and who are doing everything, for selfish reasons. And if we can ever get her to kind of be around to that and maybe not have to put the blame of whatever they're after for her on herself. I feel like I'll hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave me any comments about this episode or series. Let's go on to episode 8.
永久に封じておくための場所。もし本当に奥月が暴かれ、異形たちが目覚めたのだとしたら、帝都にとって未曾有の危機と言っても過言ではありません。
一体何者が何の目的で封印を解いたのか。
Some evil motherfuckers, bro.
お久しぶりです。工藤さん。
Hey.
大海斗さん。
He's in charge now too, right?
その格好で御前に出るつもりか。
僕は軍属ではないし、帝に従う以外に重んずるべき規則などないはずだけど。
Fair.
最低限の礼儀はあるだろう。
これが
It looks good.
なんだよ。あまり堅苦しいことを言わないでほしいな。
今回だけだ。
What a laid back guy.
失礼いたします。
Didn't know you were chill like that, bro. Look at that. He's got a tiger on the back, bro. That's fire.
入れ。よくぞ参った。
Why he's so pretty? Hold on.
お主も大変だったであろ
う。は、もったいなきおこと。
Yeah, living with those pieces of shit.
工藤家の機下に入り、その手足となって名誉と信頼を回復できるよう精一杯務めさせていただく所存でございます。
Cool,
う。
cool.
帝である父に代わり、我が達石家を許す。神より永遠に明けぬ夜が来る。それは深くとこしえに続く闇だ。気をつけよ。戦いになる。
It's bound to come to that, yep.
とすものも出るやもしれぬ。
Likely some will at least, though, yeah.
危険が迫っているのですね。また何か見えれば伝えよう。
It is our job to protect the capital. But I'm confused because the Emperor is the one who's calling the shots here, right? Or working with people under him to do that? So you don't know what your dad's doing?
訳したらしいな。やっと。はい。お主の婚約者、まあ、これからいろいろと大変であろうが。大変？大丈夫であろう、お主ならばな。
What about her, though?
典型ですか？
What do you know? Nice.
まずはその自信がなさそうに見える所作から変えていきましょう。
Yeah, she's not great with her words.
笑う時は口角を上げて。
Feels forced.
私の漬物をじっと見て、食べないならもらう。だって。
Yeah.
意外と食いしん坊よね。あの旦那様がですか？そう、それ。その笑顔を自然に出せるようにね。
She only smiles when he's in the picture.
はい。
So much more freeing. Less restrictive. It's like she's prepping for her first day of school.
方に毎日稽古をつけてもらっていると、なんだか本当に少しずつだけ
You're gaining a friend.
近づけている気がします。
Yeah.
旦那様の手にふさわしい淑女になれる。
の先ミオに起きることが見えているようだったが。
Yep. So he is informed.
人の心を読み、記憶を除き、夢に入り込める者までいるとき。
Jesus
その異
Christ.
能がミオの悪夢に関係しているのか。
It would have to
絶対に
be.
ほころびはなく、外部から干渉した形跡もなかった。
Mm-hmm.
あと考えられる可能性としては、
大事な妹のためだもの。
Mm.
少しでも力になれるのならこんなに嬉しいことはないわけ。お願いがあるんだけど。これだけ仲良くなったんだからそろそろいいわよね。葉月様、その呼び方。
Aw.
私のことは様をつけずに呼んでほしい。
We're friends, aren't we? We're close. We're related at this point, you know?
なりたいの。これからは私たち家族だもの。どんどん甘えて頼ってくれ。
The way you address someone can go a long way.
そんなにかしこまらないで気軽にお姉さんって呼んでくれたら嬉しいわ。
Mm,
もちろん無理にとは言わないけれど。
sure.
お姉様
Yeah, that maybe not that one.
どうかした？
There's some trauma built up there.
それでは葉月さんとお呼びしてもいいでしょうか？ええ、もちろん。家族って何？
We gotta start from the beginning. Huh. I got some questions, bro.
それで薄葉の人間は見つけられたか。
いろいろと調べてはみたんだが、薄葉家に関する記録や文献は皆無。
Damn.
唯一判明している薄葉と名乗った人間だからね。
薄葉隅は確かに存在し、サイモリに嫁いでミオが生まれた。いくら薄葉家が秘匿しようと、彼女の痕跡を完全に消し去ることなど不可能なはずだ。
旦那、
Gotta be something out there we can use.
まずはテートにいたスミという名の女性を片っ端から調べて。
Bro, putting this guy through all of this shit, making him work so hard. Oh. The nightmares are creeping back.
一刻も早く悪夢の原因を突き止めねば。
Look how much my man's cares.
大丈夫？疲れてない？いえ、最近ちゃんと寝れてる？
Yeah,
無理
kinda.
はしないで。辛い時はいつでも言ってね。はい。そういえば最近清香の帰り遅いんですって？お仕事が大変なようで。可愛いミオちゃんを放って仕事漬けなんて。失格ね。
He's not really choosing work over there.
が頑張られている分、
Mhm.
稽古に精を出します。あら、いい笑顔。
Well, Hazuki can stay with us tonight, right?
鶴木新と申します。
Arta.
宮内省の使いで
This
参りました。
fucker.
手を寄せつけず、まるで糖度のように冷たいとか
Yeah, well, fuck the ladies.
世間話は
Can we trust anything this guy's about to
ご存知
say?
の通り、奥月が暴かれました。
宮内省が急に我々へ事情を話す気になったのはなぜだ。散々渋っていたはずだろう。
Mm.
現状、奥月の異形の回収率は2割程度。被害者も出ています。要は、全く手が足りていない。自分は宮内省所属の人間ではありません。
Bro's about to threaten us, huh?
頼まれれば、こういう仕事も引き受けているんです。
Okay, so you're just employed to be doing what you're doing.
まず事態がこじれた時に登場する交渉役というわけか。
Mm-hmm.
ええ。それはそうと、交渉に差し当たり、こちらもあなたのことを少しばかり調べさせていただきました。例えば、最近婚約された
Wow, word spreads fast.
結婚とは難しいものですね。
I'm with you, brother. I am with you.
だからには我々も対処に加わる。
ありがとうございます。
You're not gonna like what I say
これから
then.
は自分が連絡係として顔を出すと思いますので、改めてよろしくお願いします。
Ah,
こ
fuck.
ちらこそよろしく頼む。
健闘を祈ります、工藤さん。
I'm assuming this guy's gonna be playing both sides in a way, though, like requesting things or sending Kudo or doing like whatever the situation might be to kind of isolate him or isolate Mio in a way.
奥月の呪いか。
ああ、奥月から解放された異形と接触したと考えて大方間違いないだろう。
Mm-hmm.
なるほど。
Fucking kill them
一応
all.
言っておくけど、僕にできることはあくまで呪いや術を解く怪術だから、生きている相手ならともかく、死者の呪いなんて解けるかわからないよ。
他に方法がない。とにかく頼む。
了
All right, it's not gonna work, but I can try. Uh-oh. Here they come. The scary things from the last episode. Oh.
どうした？
I said something I didn't want.
僕の手には OS いない
Uh-oh. This might really start putting Kudo to the test, because we didn't see that beforehand. Ugh. Wow. Ugh. The overwhelming forces.
容赦はないすまないがここで滅却させてもらう
Oh my god. Wow.
すぐですよ。ようやく。
すでに予兆はある。目覚めは近いぞ。
It will be.
俺が守ります。それが俺の役目ですから。
Huh.
かなりいいと思うわ。上出来よ。背筋も歩き方も完璧。
You've mastered doing it in public as well.
みよちゃん、大丈夫？顔色が悪いわよ。平気です。根を詰めすぎるのは良くないわ。焦ってもどうにもならないわよ。焦りは禁物よ。
But she's afraid of the rest at this
体調を
point.
崩したら元も子もないんだから。
Only to get sick as if she's not just gonna get sick when she goes to sleep, dude, because she can't sleep.
ごめんなさい。
Uh-oh.
大丈夫か、ミオ。
That's not him, is it, though? This fucker, bro. Ugh.
大丈夫ですか？
Right here playing chess and shit. It's all intentional. You know what he doing. Man, we really gotta change the name of this show. There ain't nothing happy about this damn marriage, bro. It's just Mio suffering, and that's what the show should be called at this point. Or the story of like Kudo basically killing himself over here. I'm trying to do whatever he can here to protect Mio. Art is clearly bad news. Like clearly. And I think that felt pretty obvious. I mean, from the first moment we end up meeting him. But he doesn't seem like he's anybody who has, I guess, hostility towards anyone. Like he doesn't wish bad things. He seems to be that type of person who simply is about his business, and he's being hired or I guess here and employed in a way. And this is his job basically. He's set up with a goal, a task that he has to accomplish, and that's literally as far as he goes. I don't think that he has any real rhyme or reason for the things that he does. It seems like the order probably came down specifically from the Emperor himself. Based on that scene I remember us having back Lord knows when he told him basically like, dude, whatever you can, you know, at all costs, and we're gonna get her and the power and it'll be on our sides. And it seems like he's putting all that into play here. I mean, specifically coming up to Kudo, making sure that he's well aware that he knows of, you know, his engagement and all of that stuff regarding Mio, and then making sure that he's the one that gets sent out to do whatever. And now, like, I understand this is probably the crew. This is the group that would have been sent out here regardless for the situation. But it works out perfectly here because it works in a way where we can isolate Kudo or isolate Mio, depending on the way you want to look at it, from each other, basically, and split them apart. This allows a lack of protection in a way for her and to catch her when there is nobody around and her guard's down again. And it's simply kind of what happened before. They caught her when her guard was down before, and look what ended up occurring. I don't know exactly if the last scene was just her being sick, her not resting, her overworking in a way, like if it was simply all of that catching up to her and she just fainted, or if her being hit by the kid and then the dropping of the bag that probably has the charm in it for her protection, and then by the time she picked it up, it was too late because things kind of already latched onto her in a way, or whatever the case might be, something got a hold of her, right? Which might have been part of whatever Aruto was trying to do here, and works towards perfectly, I guess, him accomplishing his goals. And I don't know if it was more along the lines of that, or if it was simply just the lack of rest thing. Regardless, you can't say that this wasn't intentional, him being here in this exact moment and whatever else the cases might be. He definitely has plans, and they're not good ones. I don't know what he's capable of, if it's literally he has to get a hold of her and take her, if he has certain powers or things that he can kind of do himself, whatever the case might be when he does get a hold of her here ultimately. I don't know, but he's definitely bad news, and he's very smart probably about the way that he goes about things, at least from what we've seen. He has been, so I'm curious to see the route that he goes. We use a large portion of this episode to kind of set up a lot of stuff, introduce a couple characters here and there, but for the most part give you some background and some information on the stuff that's kind of going on. I feel a majority of it's fairly straightforward to a certain point, but I guess some of it's definitely worth going into, as it's going to be definitely relevant. We meet who I believe is like our prince here, who's a little too pretty to kind of have that role, but it is what it is. I questioned in the moment the extent of his knowledge, what he actually knows, based on, I guess, the fact that the Emperor seems to be the one who sends down these things, and that's the dad at the end of the day. So you'd assume he probably fucking knows something, right? Like he knows exactly what's going on here. And it seemed like at first maybe not, but afterwards the conversation we had with Kudo definitely shows me that I think that is the case. Using almost, I don't know what they claimed it to be, but it felt like it was like almost a prediction in a way, or assurance that Kudo is going to be okay at the end of the day. Not for him not to worry, you know. It might be an uphill battle he's fighting here, but he believes he'll get out of this and he'll be okay. But this is also directly after mention of his engagement and of Mio, and then not including her in that passage or that statement that he makes, which is very concerning in a way, almost a prediction in a way that she's not going to be okay, because he knows what's going to happen, what they're going to try and do, but he'll be all right, and he's not going to be in danger or anything, right? It's unfortunate because it seems like everybody's out to get us. I love the tiger on the back here. I don't know if it like represents anything or if there's anything for it, but I love his outfit, so I'm here for it. Basically, some more explanation here about the idea that with this unsealing of the grave and all these spirits and curses and stuff kind of coming out of it, it's bad news, and they're going to come attack the capital or whatever the case might be, and we have to kind of be there and we have to be prepared. And that's why I was assuming that regardless of us kind of sending out Kudo and doing whatever, this probably was his role and his job regardless. It's just unfortunate that it's going to work in favor of everybody else. I love the moments here that we get with Yuri and Mio, and them just kind of working, Mio wearing a bit more modern clothing in a way, working harder and harder for us to get like this refined thing. I also love the little line of us telling like a joke and trying to get the natural smile out of her, but the only way that we can is to make a story about like Kudo or something like that, because it's something very close to her, which I really love. And just more and more training, and Mio seems to be latching on and doing a very good job here, and the bond between the two of them continuously grows. As this happens, Kudo has to, you know, figure out a bunch of shit that's happening still, and he has big concerns about the Usuba family and, you know, the powers and stuff that possibly could be awakening within Mio and the people that are possibly out for her, and is still trying to operate and figure all of that stuff out while having all these other things regarding the unsealing of this grave right in front of him, which is making things a lot harder and giving him a ton of work, which later on we figure out by Mio he hasn't been coming home and he's been working a ton because of this, and he has a ton of things on his plate. I love this too, of Hazuki trying to be called, like having Mio call her like sister or whatever she wants to be called, right? And then Mio, the trauma in a way of her relationship that she's had in the past with Kaya kind of still being there and being a blockage almost of allowing that to happen without her having these flare-ups. And it's unfortunate to see, but it's only natural, and I definitely understand that. So she decided to stick with Hazuki's son, which I believe is what she was calling her already. I could be off, and she might have been saying something else, but I'm pretty sure that's what she was calling her to begin with. So I don't think we ended up changing it, but I think it's one of those, like, in time, hopefully she gets around to it and kind of get past these things and view her in this way. But it's all right if she can't, you know. It's just more of a, I would like to be a bit more informal with you, you know, as their relationship and everything kind of grows, which I think is really sweet. And I love just the relationship that they're kind of building up, giving Mio somebody else that's close and somebody else that's a friend, a bit more appropriate within her age range probably, who isn't treating her in the ways that Kaya used to, you know, somebody that maybe she can relate to a little bit more and enjoy her time with, which I really like. As Kudo tries to get us more and more information, he's struggling, and we're kind of hitting a roadblock as there's nobody out there for us to gain information from anymore. As the entire family, or everybody who has the blood of the Usubas here, is not relevant in a way, or not, I guess, known historically, and that's I think strictly just because of the names, and everybody has changed their name, and the only one who really hasn't was Mio's mom, so she's the easiest one to kind of track down, but we don't have much information on her. So instead of just going by Usuba here, we're going to send this guy out of our detective friend over here and send them out of his way to do everything to look into the first name and see if you can find any of these stories or anything relating to this person, and just dig up whatever possibilities it is that we can. And I'm assuming that the mom in some way probably has some relation to these powerful users that are being dug up from these graves, or these unsealed from these graves. At least it could just be relation and family wise, or it could just be relation and whatever the case might be. But these guys have very strong powers, and it's very, very scary for us. But Kudo's doing absolutely everything in his power to kind of protect her and figure that out, which I really, really like. She continuously has her nightmares, though, which is really, really unfortunate. Arata finally shows back up, and he talks to Kudo. He basically tells us everything, though, I feel like we know. For the most part, but he kind of just sends them out and tells them, oh, this is what we kind of need from you, stating in a way that he has his own thing going on, and it essentially just seems like he was hired or brought in here as a negotiator in a way to kind of push us out and do whatever the case is, which is true. But he doesn't stand for good things, I guess. Well, he doesn't necessarily stand for bad things. He is on the side of evil, at least the way that we kind of want to look at it, and we're kind of using him in his position here to force Kudo out of our way and separate the two. This moment's kind of crazy too, when we send in Kazushi to kind of go and do the removal of the curses or whatever. I don't know exactly what they were trying to get him to do, but whatever it is, he was basically stating that he can only really do it on living things, so it's hard on things that are dead. But I believe they said this guy has a pulse still, so he's still living slightly, but it is very difficult, and the fear that kind of comes into him when somebody who I'm believing has incredible power as him sees all these curses kind of flying up, and it's frightening for him to do, as they are incredibly strong beings that he's kind of going against. I love the parallels here between the two, while Kudo's kind of fighting against them, Mio seeing all these things within our dreams like this. Now, I don't know, and I do wonder, is the connection of Mio's dreams and stuff regarding, you know, the awakening of her powers and everything that she's seeing in these nightmares and stuff, is that results of the things within these seals and these tombs that kind of were unsealed here, or are they just things that were going to kind of happen regardless? And I'm not saying, I know that she was having these beforehand, like before they kind of came out, but is it also that maybe they're so powerful in a way that while they still were sealed away, they had a way to kind of leak through a little bit or kind of get into her, and that's just the connection and the strength in which her powers in a way have, that she can kind of connect to other users in some sort of way, so they're like curses in a way that are kind of coming for her throughout these nightmares and stuff, and it's only going to make things worse now that they are unsealed? Or is this just like a natural progression thing that she kind of has to see throughout her nightmares to kind of fully awaken herself and her powers and have everything kind of come to life? Like what exactly they are, I feel like I'm still lacking on. I don't know if it's really been explored or explained, or if we're just all theorizing at this point. But let me know, I guess, if we do know, or if you feel like you know enough. I feel like we could use that. Definitely some strong things and things that we have to be very cautious of. And then we get hit with our end moment, where it's very great to see Mio outside enjoying herself, you know, actually being able to explore and be a bit more free and put everything that she's done and trained for here and properly apply that while being out in public in the presence of others. Unfortunately here, one of the kids runs into her, which forces her to drop her bag. Once again, I believe this has the charm and everything in it. And then at this moment, she kind of starts losing it and she passes out, which once again, I don't know if this is just a result of her not feeling right through the sickness and stuff, or if there was something kind of placed on her or done to her, maybe through the kid kind of bumping into her, or the droppage of the curse allowed something, or the charm in a way allowed something like a curse or something to come in and attack her, and that's why we were so set on her needing to kind of have this on her person at all times. At this point though, Arata shows up, which is frightening because we know he's up to some no good things, and that really scares me. It's gonna be all from me though. I don't really got much more. It's a lot of build up, progressing us through kind of the motions here and where exactly we're going. And there's definitely some stuff I didn't pick up on and didn't get through. I didn't feel all present throughout those episodes, I'll be honest. Like, just a personal thing on me. For whatever reason today, I don't feel all present. It has nothing to do with the show. So I feel I might have overlooked a lot of things, which I apologize for, and I'll hopefully not be like that for the next one. But yeah, just let me know thoughts about the episode overall, things I missed, things I didn't, anything you just want to add, or things you noticed, whatever the case is. I would love to kind of read it and see how other people are feeling and what they're thinking. If you liked it all, like and subscribe to me to me. Feel free to check out the videos and channel. Let me know in the comments about this episode or series. I'll be back for 9 soon. You guys have a good one though. Peace.